Gotcha, that's right. All right, hi, this is Joey O'Neill from Sound Systems Incorporated in Myrtle Beach, and we can be reached at 843-602-5883, and we're currently at Briarcliff RV Park, where we've just installed a small sound system to replace an older system they have. We are currently using, you might be able to see barely, is an existing Samson wireless microphone. That's a lavalier that we're getting ready to replace, but I'll go ahead and cover this for now. We've installed an 8-channel powered PV mixer that takes care of microphones. We've installed a power strip that is a surge protector and a main power source, and we have a CD player that we've installed. So to go through everything very quickly, I'll start with the mixer itself. Each individual channel controls an individual microphone. We have installed a plate underneath where the platform pulpit area that is numbered accordingly, and they have numbers according to these channels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, because we have 6 microphone plates located around the stage. This is channel number 7, which is also taking care of the wireless microphone. So channel 7 is the volume control for this channel for the wireless microphone. That's our tone control, which is bass, mid-range, and treble. This red is a monitor control, which is not used, and this orange is an effects control, which is also not used. So this becomes the volume control for our wireless clip-on lavalier microphone. The next channel over shares 2 things. We're using the red and white cable, which is the input for the CD player. So anything we would play on the CD player, being a computer or a telephone, an iPod dock, or a CD player, would be controlled in this channel here, and that's our volume control. Before we start, I'm going to take and let it play a source so we can use that for demonstration. All right. Currently, channel number 1 has a microphone stand with a cable at the lectern platform area, and the level control for that microphone is set at approximately 6. That also is the level control for that microphone. We don't use the effects. It says EFX. We don't use the MON, which is a monitor, but we do use the bass, mid-range, and treble, and we can set that to desired taste. So what we have is each individual channel takes care of each individual microphone that we would plug in the corresponding number. Over here to the right, we have an additional little playback unit that in the future, if someone were to bring in a small jump drive with music on it, they could plug it into that jump drive system and then forward, stop, and repeat so they could play music throughout the complex, throughout the speaker system. This box over here is called an effects unit. I don't anticipate it being used at this time because it adds echo and reverb, delays, and other effects, so I don't see that being used at this point, but if you had a singing group come in, they may want to activate that later on. It's very important that this section right here, which is called the graphic equalizer, remain where it's at now. Hard to see in the video, but this has a number that says +12, has 0 in the middle, and -12 on the bottom. Currently we have all of these set at 0, except for these 2, which is currently set at -6, this one at -8, this one at -8, and these 2 at 0. So it's very important that we keep this graphic equalizer setting the way it is now. This is the master volume for the sound system. This controls the main speakers. So if I turn this volume up or down, then it turns the entire sound system over here up or down. These are the individual channels, and this is the master section here. Getting down to this piece here, this is called a watt box. This does a couple things for us. All the items in the sound system are plugged into the back of this strip. This strip does a couple things. I have these small pull-out lights that I can turn on, and it has a small LED light in case the room's dark or I can't see anything on the CD player. For now, I'm going to go ahead and leave those off and push those back in, and they can be used as needed. This is the main sound system power switch on and off. Obviously, turn it off, everything goes away. Turn it back on, everything powers back up. So that makes one switch nice and easy. We've also taken an additional power strip that the park owned and plugged it into the back of it so that you have additional power down here on the bottom. You may not be able to see it on the video, but there's a little small power strip down here that you can have. All right, so let's take a few minutes and let's go through the CD player, which is kind of the primary piece. This is a really cool piece because it does three things. It allows us to have a 3.5 type input. So if someone came up and they had a song on their phone that they would like to play, or if they had a CD player they'd like to play, or if they had something from an iPod. You have an auxiliary input for 3.5 that would take care of a phone, iPod, or a computer. You have an iPod dock that you could pull that out and actually dock your smartphone into that where it would trickle charge and play, and or push the little red tab and that closes, or you have a CD player. Now, to activate those and make those work, you have to keep this auxiliary cable plugged in at all times. I have a cable tie here so that hopefully it won't go away. And what I'm going to do is plug my iPhone into it. And as we're talking, I'm going to try to play something. Now, how do we change from the auxiliary to the iPod to the CD player? What we do is we push this button which says Shift, and then we push Source, which is right beside it. So I push and hold Shift, and I push Source, and now I'm on the auxiliary input, and I can press play and come up here to channel 8, and get the cable plugged in right. Got my cable too tight. Let me clear that up a little bit. There we go. So now my phone's being playing through the sound system. Then if I didn't want to use my phone anymore, I can unplug that, stop it. And then if I'd like to see the CD player, I'm going to lay my phone up here. I can hit Shift and hit Source, and I've installed a CD in there, and I can just come over here to this section, hit play, stop, search, research, and then go back up here. And now is the volume control for make sure my CD player's in there, CD's in there. Let it read, table of contents reading. Then I hit play. And it says no program. Turn that back on, back off, and let it read the disk. I think I opened and closed it too many times. Table of contents. It's not reading my disk for some reason. I don't know if I've got something on there. Maybe I've scratched it. All right.